So I was going on to look at the news, whatever. I just finished watching this Betty Broderick movie. I saw it a long, long time ago, and then I saw the newer one, and then I just watched the older one. I didn't realize what it was until I was like already in it, and then I was like, I want to see what was my perspective then on this, because my perspective was different on the newer movie. But anyways, I have a lot of stuff I would say about it. But when I went in to look and see, what's going on in the news, because there's also, they're doing this huge invasion in the Ukraine, but also we have the same thing going on with Thailand and China. And I wanted to see, are they, hitting with both things right now? And it seems like they just want to talk about the convoy. All stuff is about Ukraine. But some of the stuff they're showing, it looks so war-torn that I start thinking, are these photos real? Like, I'm sure there's stuff going on. Like, if we talk to somebody who was right in the Ukraine, and I'm sure that there would be things happening, but some of these photos look pretty dramatic for, one night. So, I don't know. Because then I went in to look, because it was a bunch of stuff about the convoy is starting in D.C. So I went in to look at the footage of that. And they showed, Congress is right on this, which, hearing from people that are on the ground in D.C., they're saying everything's empty. There's no people anywhere. But so they show footage of, the Senates are right in there, they're trying to figure this stuff out. But the weird thing was, it was Trump standing at the front. So they're using old footage, and that's what they do all the time. They use old footage, just like what I said before about Tom Hanks when they were trying to say, he left and went to Greece. That was a year old. The stuff with RBG, she died a year prior. The stuff with the Queen, she's already dead. Like, they just say hold information back, and they use CGI. They got busted using a hologram to do a whole, it was the Pope. He's out there speaking to all the people. And then when they did the side camera, he wasn't even there. So there's so much with their special effects, they're so far advanced to us. And we're, that's why I said, it's going to be like coming out of the Stone Age and going into the Jetsons, because we're so repressed. But they have so much more abilities than we do. But this reusing old footage, I kind of felt like, okay, are they trying to be so obvious? Why would you show, you're talking about the Senate is, so freaking out about this convoy and their meeting and what are we going to do? But the person that's talking, okay, I don't know. When you start really paying attention to what they're saying, and stuff is being so exposed right now, it's so much more obvious. That's why, if you're awake, it's annoying. It's like, oh my God, how stupid do you think we are? It's like crazy. But really, it's them being purged. It's the separation of positive and negative energy. And this energy is being purged from the other. So it's like a separation. And so that's why it's becoming so obvious. And that's why I keep trying to talk about is this separation of the energy. If you're holding on to the other energy, then you'll go that direction. If you're holding on to the other energy, the more progressive moving, I don't want to say progressive because that's a word they use in the woke stuff so much, because I used to be considered a progressive liberal. It's all about progress, but it's the progress that they are designing for us, not the progress that we are trying to make as society, as communities, right? So it is, if you are more set in what is possible, what humans, the possible, what we can turn life into, and learn about appreciation and gratitude and freedom and all of that stuff, then your focus is on the positive. It's that separation, and you will feel it pulling. It's going to be a pull. It's been a part of our existence, our whole life. So you're going to feel it. It's going to be painful, a lot more painful for some people than for others. And, I do think that there is a sanction of people in power that are on our side. that got into places of power, and then they saw the dark energy that was in there, and some tried to expose it, and some have tried to defeat it, but right now that is what's happening. It's being defeated, it's being exposed. When it's exposed, when the light's on it and we all see it clearly, I mean, it's so obvious, that's why it's so annoying, but as it's exposed to everyone, that's why it ceases to exist. You can't keep committing crimes if everybody's watching. They commit the crimes because they're doing it in secret. But when we're watching, they don't want us to know what they're doing. That's why they use so much distraction to keep us off their trail. They do everything they can. I mean, they put it in our entertainment. They create crises so that we stay focused on the crises. They have done that for so long, create crises around a certain time when they're trying to put things into law or whatever. They will create a big crisis. So we're all focused on this, and they just slide on in. They are very, very sneaky, and they know what they're doing. But that is why, because they're so sneaky, being exposed changes the game. We all see. So that's why the hunter becomes the hunted. Because, it's going to be a big change in power. And that is why it's going to be a jubilee for us. Why it's going to go. The power back to the people. Freedom. The jubilee of not having debt. Not being locked into this banking, controlling enslavement system that has not been around forever. It was a part of what they did to take over control. So, there's so much stuff. It's just is so complex and so complicated because it goes back for so far. And people think like this is a new thing, like just these politicians are bad. No, it has been what what this reality has been about. It's why people come into this reality to learn these lessons. These lessons are ending in this reality. That is why it's going into a whole new one. And you can't go. This is a closing out of this age. And it's all about the exposing, because it's when we see the truth, we know, like what I was saying, is showing us what we aren't, teaches us what we are. So we're learning what we don't want. So when we create, we will put in what we do want. We'll know what works because we know what doesn't work. That's been shown to us really clearly. So, all of this stuff going on, you don't know what is real or what is CGI or anything. The only thing that you can actually know of for sure is if it's right in front of you. If it's a part of your experience. And, all of this stuff with media has got us all caught up in everyone else's experiences. And it's good to have empathy and compassion. But, kind of how we are is, the people I know are tore up about this stuff. They're very distraught. People are being killed, and this is horrible. But that is the near-death experience that people have to go through to break free from this reality that has been so destructive for the earth. It's been pretty destructive for souls. It's a lot for some souls to have to dig themselves out of this, the hole that this has created, It isn't that hard, though, it can seem like such a huge task, but I did it, I changed my life. It took a little while, and that is one thing, too, with the Betty Broderick thing that I was relating to, because, she was so upset because everything she had worked for, she thought she worked for her whole life, supporting her husband, because he went through medical school and law school, and then got a really successful career. But that is when, I don't know, it was kind of like menopause, and like she started to have hormone problems maybe, and he started having that, like, was my life almost over, whatever that's called, when men get midlife crisis. And so it's kind of like, their relationship just became kind of more of problems, like they didn't know how to handle it or something, but it broke up. And the thing was is she lost all her identity. She couldn't figure out who she was without him, without her family, and it drove her insane to the point she murdered. So, but that's all a soul, that's their own soul tribe journey, or their own soul group that came in for those experiences. It has nothing to do with every single other person unless it has some meaning in your life, or, just watching it to understand something. But, most other people's journeys have no effect on us except for we go in and watch and we get all caught up. And so, with her, I just saw, because when I lost, my identity, when I lost my license and all of the stuff that went on, because, some jobs you become, that's what you are, you see. You don't see yourself as separate than that. So I was a nurse. I was a nurse. That was it. And when that was taken, then it was like, well, what am I? I didn't even like being a nurse. Who am I? Like, well, I was an artist. I was like trying to figure out who and what am I, what's going on. And she couldn't do it. She kept going backwards. Even when friends were confronting her and telling her she was losing it, she would just get mad and push them away. And, whatever their whole soul contracts were, I don't know. I just know that when you are faced with having problems, it's all about resilience. It's all about healing. It's about what you do with the problems. Do you let the problems defeat you, or do you let them be challenges for you to become more of who you are? And, but each soul is at a different level, It doesn't, just because I was able to do it and then she went the other way, well, that is part of her soul thing. She could have come back, and for all I know, I'm her. We're all connected to that degree. We're all from, at some point, we're from the same oversoul. So there's no, we go all the way back to source. We're all from the same source. So we are all connected. We are all part of the same thing. And we are all going through different experiences to understand things, as a creation of our own identity as a consciousness. So anyways, we're all going to understand what's going on different levels. And everybody's just got to focus on what brings up in them, like whatever's going on. If it's fear, if it's feeling like, something can happen to you and stuff. Those are all your lessons to think about. If it's about having faith, it's about learning resilience. If it's learning to take better care of yourself. It's going to be so different for every single person. So, it's just focus on what is happening in your own present life. Try and detach as much as you can, no matter how traumatic all this stuff is. Remember, some of it isn't even real. It's like they're putting on a movie, like an action film, and it's got all of this CGI and special effects and stuff like that. So it's not like the news is really showing you stuff. It's all just to manipulate your mind more. So the more you can detach from it and know, that there's going to be some stuff that's going to go down, but it's what those souls came in to have that experience for whatever reason, if you want to go in, and go talk to every soul when you die and ask them, why would you choose this? Why would you choose this? Then you can learn about that. I can't tell you why every soul chooses every life, because that seems to be something that people just can't wrap their head around of, like, why would someone pick something that would be horrible or traumatic? Or why would they pick something where they hurt somebody? That is, that's what souls do. But you're in a dream. There's lots of people who like to play in movies and they want to play the villain because they want that experience to play the bad guy. Could I play the bad guy? It's the same thing in life. You're just going into a dream reality. It's not real. Everything that feels so real is because you're detached from your soul. You're more attached to the 3D. So everything feels so real. But the more you pull free from this system, from this three-dimensional ideal, then you connect more with your soul, and you know, you'll see things differently. So anyways, that's all I was really going to say, was just, you know, focus as much as you can on your healing and what things are bringing up for you, because it's all about you being able to pull free from this system. So whatever becomes clear to you, your clarity is, you know, your guidance. So it could be the politics, you know, the government, that's all going away. Our education system going away, our money system going away, our food system, all of these systems that have been there to deplete and devour us, those are all going away. So, and most people have got some attachment to some area of this existence. And so those are the things that you need to focus on. What in your own life is being taken from you? What are you detaching from? What are you separating from? And, you know, work on that, heal those things so you can understand yourself and develop yourself more. Because, you know, if you're just sitting there stressing, you know, oh my God, 10 more people died, oh, 5 more people died, then, you know, you're letting your emotions get the better of you. You're letting fear take over. And you have no control over what is happening for other people. You have no control what's happening for other souls and why they're doing what they're doing. So, but you can't come into life. You can't be forced into life. Your soul made all of the plan that you're going through. Just like I keep saying, you're on a script. Everything you're doing is exactly what you were always going to do. And there's no going off of that. It's your soul. Just keep remembering you are the hologram of your soul. Your soul's just watching itself to understand itself. Like, what would I do in this situation? How would I react in this situation? What do I learn from this person? That's what the more you can detach from the avatar's experience, to me, I don't know, everybody's at different levels. You got to follow your own guidance. You know, if you are feeling like, I really, you know, I've got to focus on this, then do that. That's what your soul is telling you. But, you know, you also have to really recognize, you know, is it my ego? Is it my fear? Is it, like, what is it that's driving you? And the more you connect to your soul, because when your soul is guiding you, then you're on the right path. If your ego is guiding you, your fear is guiding you, then it's time to reel it in and, you know, go in and take some time for yourself, calm down and relax and center and really get in touch with yourself and what you're here to learn, because that's the most important thing right now. So anyways, I just wanted to add that in. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.